Hello, finally court tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright BlueAnkylo with the blue one. And cheerio, Bedensis. This is... I enjoy the finding blood, finding fingerprint stuff, but I don't like the not wearing to go look in the detective mode. So I generally like the court mode more, so I'm glad to be here finally. Nobody knows what's going on. Things are very complicated. 2 suspects, 1 victim murdered in 2 places, supposedly. Hey, Lana. She's been interrogated all night long, and she's used to it. A plea bargain? Oh, so she's already made a deal for not being killed. Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. Of course we are. Accuse everyone. Do what you have to do. Thank you. Look, the more reasonable doubt we can throw in there, the better, in my books. Court is now in session. All right. I think we're ready. All right, Zathra, thank you for not spoiling. This is perhaps the most complicated one we've had thus far. Okay, it does take 30 minutes to get from the police station to the prosecutor's office. Bruce Goodman was supposedly slain at both places. Yeah. Disappearing, reappearing trick, eh? One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. Okay. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. So, what's the plan then, Edgy? The suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. So, this guy, we know, and we're also pretty sure is not the murderer. There's just no way. Unfortunately, we're probably going to hear some megaphone squeals, so everyone cover your ears every now and then. You'll just going to have to live with it. His occupation is would-be murderer. Great start. A professional killer. Oh... Yeah, you are younger. Ah, my ears every time. Someone remove that megaphone from the... my words fail me. Just shoot him. Oh, you can fault him for many things. All right, witness. Please, without the megaphone, just tell me what happened on the day of the crime. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Sure. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. Right. So he's gonna claim it was sort of self-defense or something? Ah, stop it! Shoot him! You fainted, He knocked me upside the head, sir. Pretty hard to murder someone who knocks you out. Alright, time for some pressing. It's been too long since we've given anyone a good pressing. Alright. It's not his normal duty. So whose normal duty would it be, maybe? He's just general affairs. He hires the new recruits? Oh, somebody help us. The police department is terrible. This is supposed to make us trust our servant protections. Oh man, we're doomed. That is a scary thought. Too spooky for me. Oh man, okay, so it was a special day, lots of stuff was going on. Sure, he was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger. His job was to guard the cardboard, I don't know, whatever they call it, mascot. So how did you end up in evidence? Yeah, very important. After the award ceremony was finished, there's so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Okay. I guess that makes some sense. But that doesn't say he was assigned to the guard room. That's where Marshall is supposed to be working, supposedly. So spotted a suspicious man. Okay. Maybe identify him? Ah, right. This is good. Good to have. Your ID number should be listed here. Ah! At least shoot the megaphone, please. Alright, I thought that would be his number. You used your ID card twice. The first time is when he put the Blue Badger in evidence room. Okay. The second time is when you went to get him after everything settled down. Alright, I mean that's... I don't think there's anything extra suspicious about that so far. Let's check this out. So now we know a mystery person went in at 4:20. Edgeworth went in 20 minutes later to get a screwdriver that Gant told him to go pick up. 10 minutes later, Meekin stores the Blue Badger. 24 minutes, Bruce Goodman goes in there for evidence transfer. And around then, Meekins went in as well. Okay. So he was attacked. How were you attacked? A knife. He looked as surprised as... Okay, so they were both surprised. He reacted. Swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. And he got... So, I don't think Meekins even had a weapon. I don't think anyone would trust him with a gun or a baton or a stun gun or anything other than a megaphone, basically. All he did was swing his hands at this guy and cut himself on the knife that Goodman was holding. Saw the blood, panicked, grabbed the man by the collar. Fought for my life, and you did it. Oh, he's really into kung fu. The girls would love his tentacle attack. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. Closed my eyes like a man. And suddenly his coat was drenched in a sea of blood. He punched me in my face. This doesn't sound like the murderer to me. When did you wake up? Good question. Well, after you wake up, you look at a clock. Simple. 5:30, okay. Stop it with the megaphone. So at 5:30 you put the blue badger back outside. Well, we have a picture. Yeah, we don't actually have... He never said specifically it was Goodman. It was just... He saw someone suspicious. What about that videotape? Yes, thank you. Oh yeah, everyone's gonna recognize that, probably. Chief Gant delivered it to me this morning. Oh, good. Stop it. Oh, poor Meekins. Well, I feel bad for Meekins. I think he's being set up here. Please using the word murder. Why are you a detective or a police officer at all? Alright, so. The blue badger is... It's always moving unless the batteries are out, basically. That's the trench coat. Could be Goodman. Went over to the evidence locker. Something fell out. Meekins. Oh, he does have a baton. Also, this is 5:14, 5:15. Of course, the flag is in front of his face. Of course. They did have a scuffle, though. And... Meekins is left on the ground at 5:15 specifically. The car, no, yes, 5:15. The car with Goodman's body was already parked in the prosecutor's office at that moment. That can't be Goodman. What the hell is that wriggling piece of plywood? Thanks, Edgeworth. That's the pride and joy. The blue badger. Blue with spiky hair. Alright. Good. The tape seems to prove that the witness encountered someone, yes. Some sort of activity did take place. Not really a brawl. Instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice. As you wish. Alright, so... Testimony about the man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required the detectives Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do so. That is a point, yes. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker. Stop it! So yeah, you can only get into your own locker with your fingerprint. It seems like a good security measure. It would seem that way. Contradictions. Alright, let's find some. Yeah, I watched Mythbusters. It's easy to fake someone's fingerprint. You don't even need a silicone mold. You just need, like, someone's fingerprint and your thumb, and you can just click it right through on most of the ones. It's really not hard to fake, actually. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. Well, we might as well just press on everything. I learned during the last trial, even if it seems pointless, sometimes you have to press it just to get to the next stage, so... Pressing never costs you anything, we might as well just do it. You are also a police officer. You'd think you'd pay attention to these details. Didn't you have training? I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. That's great for a police officer. Good point, Phoenix. Thank you. You might be betting your badge at this rate. You don't know that for sure, right? You never actually saw his face. Yeah, same as last time, basically. Because you're the witness. Meekins. Chokes himself again. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Please be more certain when you testify. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive. Okay. He did already, basically, so it's fine. He opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Fine. No other way to open them? Maybe like, well, there'd have to be another way, like, for the IT department or somebody to change the codes. Like, if someone quits, you have to be able to change the code to someone else's code. Like, there's got to be another way. Yeah, just because you can't figure it out. Someone at the computer could change registered fingerprints, certainly. We would need to also see computer logs to make sure no one's changed that. No, sorry, Judge. You need to have an IT consultant to talk to. Ah, shoot him. I don't think the game's going to get into that, though, so we're not going to worry about people messing with computers. From people in the know. Good. If only we could use the glove found on the crime scene to test on the locker. Maybe tomorrow. So the open locker belonged to him. This was verified through a more reliable source. Thank you, Edgeworth. One more press, and then we'll have to figure out what we're going to present. You are the one being examined. Right. Maybe. Uh-oh. Is there a problem with the security video? Maybe we can watch it one more time before we do that. Hold on. Hold on, let's see if I can just watch it one more time. So, this thing's in the way. It might be the date, or the time, that is to say. Oh, wait a second, look at the lights. Look at the lights, they're all locked. It was, the first pass through, it was already lit up. He didn't actually unlock it. I think. And then they fight. He did attack him with the knife, though, according to the video. Got some blood. So he stabbed Meekins, got some blood on his coat. Whoever. He, she, could be. Who knows, really. Left the door open with the light on. Okay, I just want to see that very beginning one more time. I think I got it, though. Look at all the lights. Off, 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 off. On. I'm pretty sure that means that it was unlocked when he got there. Alright, there's a problem. And I think the video did show there was a knife that he tried to get stabbed with, Sotraz. So that much is correct. There is one thing that is peculiar, though. The man may not be Detective Goodman. It does. Oh, Edgeworth, you know it too. He's just playing coy. Point out this alleged contradiction in the video. I hope I can click the right point. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect the piece of evidence. I don't like inspecting video evidence where I have to stop it and point out a specific part of the video. I'm sure hope the thing I'm talking about is the correct one. You can fast forward, rewind, or pause. Okay, good. Please don't play it too many times. Alright. So, at least we got the music again. I'm almost positive it's before Goodman walks in and even touches it, the fact that it's unlocked. We'll find out, though. Officer Meekins. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released. Can we slow-mo the fight scene? Oh, yeah, I should have done that too, Sildraz, I'm sorry. According to my very limited experience, that's the way. Okay, that's him. Yeah, yes, yes. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Maybe we'll get to look at the fight scene again later. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. Such great music. The music should have played backwards too. That would have been better actually. If when you're in rewind, it plays the music backwards. Anyway, notice the light. It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Killed. Order. It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Huh? When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Could have broken. BlueAnkylo, yeah, you got it. Well, maybe. Physical malfunctions are difficult for sensors to detect, actually, Edgeworth. That's why people like analog systems more than digital. I have a possibility. Why do I have to explain why the locker wasn't locked? It's clear that it wasn't locked. Therefore, that wasn't Goodman. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, this isn't my field. I'm just a lawyer. Jam the electronic system? I don't know. You're a terrible investigator. You know nothing about computers. There's something else that seems out of place? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I didn't see anything else out of place. Hold on. Okay. Locker is on. This guy's waving his hands around. There's no cloth here yet. Remember we saw that at the crime scene earlier. He puts his hand in it. Something. Oh, something falls out. Okay, okay. But we wanted to watch the fight scene in slow-mo, so let's see the fight scene. Meekin sneaks up. Gets smacked in the face. Actually, that looks like where he got cut on the hand, probably. Attacks him with his kung fu. Gets knocked on the ground. His megaphone goes flying. This guy's now covered in bloody hand. And Meekin's should be dead right now. How would he survive that? He's raising his hands. I surrender. I surrender. Please don't kill me. And should be pretty dead. The way that knife is going in, I'm pretty sure he would be dead. Anyway, camera pans back. And Meekins is on the floor, knocked out. And Goodman actually did disappear. How did he escape? I hadn't actually thought of that yet. Oh! And now that is there. So, I suppose if Goodman / the other victim, I need to go back to the last point we saw him. Just give me a second here. So, the last time we saw Goodman, air quote Goodman, was right here. Instead of stabbing him, he must have just punched him in the head and knocked him out. He must have, like, ducked underneath the camera. So he stabbed him and then he went underneath the camera, somewhere around here, or maybe hid behind the board, so that when the camera pans back, he's behind it or something. While he's to the left of the camera now, he has to open the far left locker and leave that there, which is maybe the trench coat he was wearing. Very, very sneaky. Alright, anyway, that covers that, I think. Oh, what am I looking for? From the beginning, right. It's when that thing falls out. I gotta catch that. I like this camera now, actually, now that we can slow it down and fast forward it. Alright, right there. Continuation of the part you saw earlier. Have Phoenix explain it for us. I think I've noticed all kinds of good things on the video, though, so that's nice. Red ankylos are always the enemy, Schminchkin. Something white. Well, how do we know it's white? This is a black and white camera. Something not dark fell out of the locker. I object to your rambling. The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Dun dun dun. Okay. The white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. That seems fair. Quite logical. Meekins, just shut your trap. You're not helping anybody. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. You also have to block electrical currents. An insulator. Oh, Edgeworth, knowing his physics. There just might have been something like that. Thin and insulation. We're getting there. Like a latex glove, you know? Latex might stop electric currents. I mean, there wasn't too many things found at the crime scene, unless you count the pottery. It could be a piece of paper, perhaps, but I think the rubber glove is what they're obviously hinting at here. Found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. Actually, we can. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. That animation is worth it. That's the only reason we keep Meekins around, for his little squeal as he chokes himself. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? The possibility... Well, now we have... Basically, I've shown very conclusively that this doesn't need to be Goodman. All you know is it's a man with a white trench coat and a white hat. Says who? Alright. What else have you got to prove that this was Goodman? Actually, I have an idea, but it's okay. Begin your next testimony. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Alright. That, again, is relatively good evidence, sure. Well, it proves that the ID card was used. Again, not specifically that it was him, is that... Because someone could have stolen his ID card, right? But we do have proof right before the time of the video that someone used Bruce's card. Or, see, I'm already sure that Bruce was in the car at the other crime scene during all of this, so there's no way it could have been Bruce. Yeah, why... Well, this was also the day where they had that award ceremony for prosecutors, and, I don't know, maybe some other stuff too. It's a small locker room. Sure, that doesn't, yeah, it doesn't really make much difference. That doesn't matter. Alright, let's cross-examine a very short testimony. So, what have we got? I might as well press them, but normally I would say this is not going to help. Solid as stone. The witness can't afford to make any more mistakes. What happens if someone steals it? That's a good point. Every time he gets out of the car, either his tie gets stuck or his ID card gets stuck. A terrible police officer. There is a record of it, indeed. Right. Don't worry about that. Maybe he's behind all this. Come on, it's totally something different. We have to prove that a dead man did have his possession. I think there's many ways you could argue this in court normally, Soldiraz. It's just, you have to follow the game rules, which is a bit awkward. It does seem like a lot of this case is set up to make Mr. Edgeworth look bad. I wonder who could profit from that. Instead of pulling his ID card, he pulled a knife. It is kind of odd. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife if he just identified himself. The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. Just show them what we've got. So what am I supposed to show them and when? Okay, we've currently got 3 pages of stuff. Where's the proof that 5:14 p.m. Bruce Goodman could not have used his ID card? Because, like I keep saying, we know Edgeworth's car parked at 5:12, and that's where they found the body, but I'm not sure I want to try to connect that all up just yet. I don't think it's time for that. The autopsy report, probably not correct. We found Goodman's ID card at the prosecutor's crime scene. This might be it. Maybe. I'm kind of guessing at the exact moment we're supposed to present this stuff. I don't think this helps, no. That's not going to help us here. Alright, it's probably the fact that we got the ID card at the scene of the body, or the other crime scene. Okay, let's try that. And this might be wrong, but this is my best attempt, number 1. To tell you what, I'll put a quick save in here because I don't want to have to redo all that beginning stuff if I go real bad. Looks good, though. You see the exclamation marks pretty quick when you get it wrong. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. The other crime scene. I mean, the other crime scene. The underground parking lot. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Oh, I see. Something important enough to fill out his report. I didn't actually catch this when we got the lost item card. There is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Yeah, I'll point that out in a second. If you guys forgot, if you guys missed it. So, hold on. Before we go to this, because I didn't pick it up when I looked at it the first time. Goodman's lost item report. It says, lost item, date lost 2/21, February 21st, the day of the murder, when he died. His name, and then it asks for his ID number. And, not surprisingly, he couldn't remember it, because he didn't have his card. Now, he should have filled out item lost, my ID card. But he's supposed to know his employee ID, and he didn't know it. Because it starts with 5... Well, what did it write down? It's like 594... I don't know what my second number in my code is. And his actual number is... 584. He probably went 54... Ah, shoot, I don't know my number. Instead of 5842189. He's not good with remembering numbers, sure. Alright. I assume he filled that report before he died, Siltraz. The man Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Pretty decisive. Makes a lot more sense than the dead guy was in two places at once, right? Bravo, Mr. Wright. Thanks, Edgy. I'm sure he knew this all along. He was just waiting for us to point it out. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in this evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. You are probably correct. Look. Look who's pointing fingers, Edgy. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. Well, no, because there's all that blood at the scene here. It means it didn't happen at... Yes. It means there was not a murder at 5:15 on the day of the crime. That I agree with. Oops, I did it again. Keep clicking buttons. Sorry, just a sec. Where is it? There it is. I got too many hotkeys for changing scenes. So the real crime could only take place at one location. No. I mean, it's been a while since we talked about the prosecuting parking lot crime, but there is... All we've proven here is that it didn't happen at 5:15 in the evidence room. Ha! Ha! That's a stretch as well. Some sort of witness that's been discredited at least twice and lied on the stand. It was all a trap. Wait a second, I want to submit that picture with the blood on the grounds in the evidence room. Who exactly was the victim? Where did this person disappear to? And how did he disappear out of that room? Okay, I'll do something. Don't worry, Emma. I am already pretty sure I know. Object! We always object! One moment, Your Honor. I'm always objecting to everything anyone says. I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. The 5:15 is not the time of murder. That much we know. That is still super sketchy there. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. It showed that Meekins is a terrible fighter too. That's a good point. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. The prosecution considered it unrelated. Well, that's a foolish mistake, Edgy. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Somehow I knew they were going to make that reference. The defense would like to request a specific witness. Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Well, it's certainly the sheriff. There's nobody else here that's going to make a difference. Let's summon the dead guy. I almost want to just save it and see what happens if you summon Goodman. I'm not going to do that, though. Officer Jake Marshall. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. I mean, he is literally the guy who is responsible for letting people in and out of the evidence room up there. He was... That's totally fair, right? Fortunately, he works here. 20 minutes. The victim's testimony would be so much easier. Well, we used to have a spirit medium that could theoretically talk to them. She wasn't very good at it, but theoretically. Court in recess? Everyone have some candy. Well, Lana, I had to bring him up. There's no stopping me. Never. I object. Not everything. No, not everything. Just more than yesterday. I haven't figured anything out. I figured a few things out. It is true, our clients never tell us the full story. They always just play dumb and let us figure it out. It's kind of annoying. Well, Bet insists they tried it 15 years ago, and then it was a big scandal. But it would still give us lots of good clues. And that's what we need, clues. Don't you trust your own sister? Oh, hey, Gumshoe. Nah, you can stay. It's cool. Aw, poor guy. The poor frowny face. Sorry, detective. Palette. Hey! Oh ho ho! Ho 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 ho! Wow, that's some serious hoeing. Hey, it's about time we got some files from that, actually. Good thinking, Lana. That's why you're a real lawyer and I'm not. I could use more information, like piles and piles of paper. I got 20 minutes to read, probably 15 minutes to read all this. You're probably correct, Gumshoe. Emma? Now she's involved. Everyone's involved. Phoenix is reading? Nah, he was just looking at all the pictures and saw Emma and Lana's picture, probably. I'm pretty sure Emma should have guessed what happened 2 years ago, because literally 2 years ago, like, the DL6 thing said 2 years, and because it involved this family, she should have known. So dumb. Joe Dark. Johnny Darko. Oh, she ran away. Yeah, I gotta be somewhere else too. Everyone was involved. Marshall, Starr, Gant, Edge, even the skies. Indeed. It's never a coincidence. Alright, Lana. I'll be objecting and presenting with the best of them. I better take a look at this file. That's a good point. Alright. This is a long episode. Well, we'll take a break here and have a look at that evidence next time, and we'll have to interrogate Jake Marshall. So YouTube, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying. I'll see you next time.